Hi, in today's video we're going to talk about aluminium welding fumes. Aluminum is a material widely used across many industries such as construction, automotive, transportation, aerospace, etc. On the screen you can see the characteristics of aluminum welding fume. What's important to know is that the particle size tend to be between 0.01 and zero point 0.1 microns, which means they can be very easily inhaled and end up in your lungs. The composition and concentration of the different pollutants will vary depending on the type of aluminum or alloy that's used, as well as the process. But regardless, when it comes to aluminum welding fumes, there are two main hazards that we're going to find. The first one is aluminum oxide, Al2O3, which is an irritant. The second one is ozone, or O3, which is highly toxic. Ozone is formed when UV rays from the process interact with the ambient air and convert oxygen, O2, into ozone, O3. This effect is amplified by the aluminum reflectiveness, which is why it's even more an issue when we work with this material. What's interesting to know is more ozone is generated when working with a TIG process compared to the MIG process, as well as when we are working with aluminum silicon alloys compared to pure aluminum or aluminum magnesium alloys. And in general, ozone concentration tend to be higher when there is less fume generated. This can be explained by the fact that fume would act as a screen, which will reduce the interaction of the UV rays with the ambient air. There are many potential issues when it comes to breathing aluminum welding fumes. First of all, as most welding fumes, there is a chance that the welder is going to get metal fume fever, as well as irritation, respiratory issues, headaches, coughing, and nausea. But something very specific to aluminum welding fumes is aluminosis, which is an incurable lung disease. And once again, like with all welding fumes, there is of course a risk of cancer and nervous system damage. When it comes to regulation and exposure limits, in North America for welding fumes, we're talking between 3 and 10 milligrams per cubic meter in the welder's breathing zone. For aluminum oxide, it goes down to 1 to 10 milligram per cubic meter. For ozone, the exposure limit is going to be between 0.05 and zero point 0.1 ppm. Something very interesting and important to know with ozone is that depending on where you are, in some areas like in Quebec, for example, recirculation is prohibited, which means like even if you use a dust collector, you cannot send the filtered air back into your factory, which also implies that it makes it very hard to use portable units, as most of them are just going to filter the air and send it back in their work environments. If you want specific information about exposure limit in your area, I'm going to put links in the description below. You're going to be able to find exposure limits and regulations depending on your location. When it comes to fume extraction, which is our number one way to protect welders and other workers around, there are three technologies that we might consider. Most welders working with aluminum and the MIG process are going to use push-pull welding gun. It's interesting to know that there is no, at least not to my knowledge, an equivalent of a fume extraction gun with the push-pull technology. In the past, we've used successfully fume extraction MIG guns such as this one, which are more standard, with aluminum wire, using first of all a specifically designed liner, which reduces friction to a minimum, and by using guns that are like usually less than 15 feet long. So that's a very viable alternative that works really well, and that enables you to have a fume extraction MIG gun, even if welding aluminum. Otherwise, we're going to use the fume extraction arm or fume extraction nozzle, which are the solution recommend for processes other than MIG, regardless of the material being welded. But you could also use them with the push-pull MIG gun. If you want to know more about fume extraction, different type of extractors, how and when to use them, I'll invite you to join me in one of the free webinars I give every week. I'll also put a link in the description below that's going to take you to an article on our website giving you even more information about aluminum welding fumes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.